Hello there. I want to make a quick video giving two examples of how I am discovering the ways in which I create the events in my life. So if you're new to the law of attraction, basically everything that happens in your life that affects yourself, any odor or fragrance you might smell, any coarse or fine material you may touch, the tone of voice that someone delivers to you when they're speaking to you, good or bad, or even if you overhear someone speaking a distance away. And that might make you feel a certain way. Maybe someone's really angry, or maybe there's a melodious voice and that makes you feel a certain way. Everything that happens to you is part of your law of attraction. You are attracting those events into your life. So let's look at something over here. I'm by a park field house in Chicago, and you can see there's a building right there, and then I can't see what's behind that building. But besides the building, I can see cars that move along the road. Now, there might be someone behind that building doing something, and I have no awareness of what's going on. What's happening behind that building is not affecting me right now. But what's happening within my perception of awareness, that is affecting myself. So we are creating events and attracting events into our life all the time. And I just want to quickly give two examples that I'm seeing. And these are two negative events that I'm seeing attracted into my life. One is really small and simple, but I know this happens to you. It's like a pesky negative event that I'm attracting. It's very pesky. So I have a lot of issues with my teeth right now. They're starting to kind of decay and fall apart. It's only in the beginning phases, but I see it starting to happen, and I'm very afraid of what that may portend, because my mother also has major teeth problems. So I'm very scared about that. There's one area of my teeth between two teeth. There's a spot between two teeth that's starting to open up. It's like a cavity forming, and sometimes food gets stuck between there. Now this morning, I was putting my tongue in that spot to feel if there was any food there, because I don't like going through the entire day without any dental floss with which to floss any food that may be in there out. So what I find is when I'm driving, it's kind of this pesky feeling, this annoyance that I experience if I can feel some food stuck there between my teeth. So I checked as I took a shower if there was anything there, and if there was, then I would floss it out. So thankfully there wasn't, but I was very concerned that there would be. So I have this feeling towards, that possible occurrence. There was nothing there. Now, just now, as I'm walking to work, you ever have some food stuck in your throat and it kind of comes up a little bit later? I don't know if it happens to a lot of people. It happens to me. A single blade of rice or whatever, I had eaten some rice this morning, came up, and I was like, I could just swallow it back down, but let me just chew it out here. As I was chewing it, a small bit of it got caught in that spot between my teeth. And I know I created that. So now I have the next 8 hours of work, and I'm going to have this annoyance feeling that I experience as I go forward. Another thing is that when I'm in the shower, I'm a heavy-set man. Not a little. I am a heavy-set man. And right now I feel this pain in my sciatic nerve on my left side, and I have some hip problem, and all of these things I'm creating, all of these health problems, all these injuries, they're created because of I attracted these illnesses into my life. They were created because of emotions that I do not want to experience in my soul. And as much as I want to deny the fact that I have created them, there is this strong feeling in me that that is the truth. I want to believe that someone did it to me. I'm 33 years old. I'm not a child anymore. If you're a child and things happen to you as far as illness, it's not so much your fault as the fault of your parents, your uncles and aunts and grandparents, those around you. But as a 33-year-old man, I am attracting every illness that is inside of myself. I know that I can feel the emotions in my soul, and I choose to not feel them. So, heavy set, hip problems, some trouble walking around. When I get into the shower, every now and again, I feel this deep and abiding fear that I might fall. I don't want to fall because, I might hit the corner of the sink, which is nearby, and I might, split my skull open, and I might bleed out and die. And, because no one really checks on me, no one would really know that if I were to die, I'd cost the government a lot of money, and someone would have to clean up my body, which has been rotting for several days, and maybe even a month. And that would stink for those around me. At this point, I'm not so concerned about dying. I just wish it was quick and not so painful. But yeah, and I'm super scared of having some kind of injury that that inhibits me from living the life that I have hitherto led. Something that keeps me from being able to run. Something that keeps me from being able to even walk. Something that keeps me from, maybe I lose an arm. Maybe I have some kind of brain injury that keeps me from, that makes my body no longer able to move. I would rather die than have a long-standing injury that would prevent me, that would make me permanently handicapped. So that is a major fear I know that I'm experiencing, that I have inside of myself. And as I'm in the shower and I'm about to fall, and I see, because I might slip a little bit as I'm standing on the bathtub, I'm super afraid that I might fall and die, or I might fall and have some major injury. And when that happens, when that fear comes up, I don't want to feel it. I push it down. And I addictively, turn on the faucet to start the shower. And I just say, you don't need to worry about that fear. It's just, it's not that big of a deal. Just be careful, just be careful. Be careful. Okay, you're careful. You notice that, you slipped a little bit. That's okay. Just keep on moving and don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So that's what I do. And about 2 weeks ago, I had an event where I did fall in the shower. And as I was falling, it was interesting. You're hyper aware of what's happening around you. And I felt this calm. I felt like everything was all right, which is something I often experience when I get into a minor accident. It's weird. Like, there's so much fear up until the event of the accident, but when it occurs, I'm usually not so afraid. But as I was falling, I felt like everything was going to be all right. Turns out everything did come out all right. I kind of, bruised myself very slightly, maybe on the knee. And I actually felt blessed. I felt blessed that this experience happened because it taught me that there was something in my soul that I was, that was attracting that event. So there are still, it's like a message from God. There are still things that I'm denying. There are still things that I'm rejecting. And everything at this point, in the duration of the fall, everything was pointing out the truth of that to me. And I felt like it was a gift. And I actually fell again, like maybe a week later after that, outside. Again, I felt similarly. Someone was near me and very afraid, and they came up to me and said, "Are you okay, mister? Are you okay?" And they kind of pulled me up. I didn't really need pulling up. I just really wanted to experience everything that I was feeling as that was occurring. But these events that occur in your life, these are things that you are attracting to yourself. So maybe keep that in mind. Notice when you deny a fear, and I would distinguish a difference between a fear that causes anxiety and pain within yourself, because let's be honest, if there is a God, a beautiful, loving creator, parent God, then he would want us to experience joy and love all of our days. And if we are experiencing this intense fear, that has no place in our soul. So it's something that we have to look at and pay attention to. And and as I said, I would distinguish between a fear, an abiding, penetrating fear inside of myself, and just the simple knowledge that, oh, I slipped a little bit there, be careful. Like if I was on a cliff, I would know not to be careful. I would know that I can't act crazy on the cliff. I'm going to close out this video, so I'm just going to end it here. But basically, I would say that there's a difference between an understanding, a logical understanding, that certain situations require a certain amount of attention. And that understanding is not a painful feeling. And then there's the painful fear that you might have, which closes you up and shuts you down. And it really shuts you down if you don't feel it, but it's this soul-encompassing emotion. So I hope that's somewhat helpful. I'm going to end it there. Take care.